Elevate is the executive leadership education venture at advancing talents and entrepreneurs. And today is an information session or an open house to provide additional information to minority-owned business enterprises about the Elevate program. And so what we wanted to do is just give you a little bit of background and provide you an opportunity to ask any questions at the end of this presentation. And so we'll get started talking a little bit about Elevate. So Elevate is a partnership between CNHED, which is the Coalition for Nonprofit Housing and Economic Development, and the George Washington School of Business. And this partnership came together formally about 2 years ago, and we launched our first cohort in the beginning of this year in February, which it commenced in January, February, and it ended in May of this year. So it was a 3-month executive leadership education program, and it was our inaugural program. And we are launching the second round or the second cohort for minority business enterprises. And the Elevate program for the second cohort will run from September the 25th through December the 18th of this year. And essentially, Elevate is intended to provide executive education training or best-in-class training to prepare minority-owned businesses to effectively lead their businesses with the intention of increasing their revenue and increasing and also being able to hire more district residents or residents in general, but particularly district residents, hopefully. And the Elevate program is not a skills training in the traditional sense. Elevate is different in the sense that it's focused on both the management and leadership and what it takes to be competitive in today's market, especially with COVID. And so when we look at what is Elevate, the curriculum was designed specially for this program by the George Washington School of Business faculty and the Center for Entrepreneurial Excellence. The program is led by, the instruction is led by the George Washington School of Business faculty members. And we have 2 of those members on the attending this information session, and they will share a little bit of information about the program as well. The MBEs that are participating in this program, the intention is that they will comprehend the complex roles of entrepreneurship, leadership, management, and how it and its impact, or how it's throughout, the development of the organizational strategies. And so we're not focused on specifically how to read a budget or to how to develop a business plan. This is really intended to help entrepreneurs look at how they are leading their businesses, their companies, and what their management style is, and how they need to, what are changes or adjustments that they need to make to be able to be even more effective for to experience growth within their business or their company. The Elevate program is also intended to help MBEs recognize new opportunities by introducing innovation in wide-ranging organizational settings, and to further sharpen the acronym of minority-owned businesses to enhance their competitive edge for prime growth. And so with that said, what is the eligibility? Who is eligible to apply for Elevate? When we were thinking about the eligibility, we wanted to really make sure that we were intentional and not necessarily focusing on startups, because startups are, in addition to kind of learning their business, they're also trying to build the infrastructure. We are working with businesses that are minority owned, at least minimum of 51% minority owned businesses that have built the infrastructure within their business all set up, and they have some level of experience operating their business. So they have been operating at least 5 years or more, and they have a minimum of 10 full-time employees. And then also we're asking for at least of these three, an annual revenue of 500,000 or more. So in addition to having a minimum of 51% minority ownership, we're also asking those who are eligible to meet the criteria that at least two of the three items that I just mentioned, being in operation for at least 5 years or more, or with 10 full-time employees at least at a minimum, and an annual revenue of 500,000 or more. And this is not set in stone, so we have some degree of flexibility, but we at least like the applicants to meet these criteria. When we look at the applicants, we're looking at it as a cohort and trying to make sure that we're assembling a cohort that will be able to learn from each other, but also will definitely benefit from this experience. And so the Elevate graduate faculty that will be involved in the instruction will be led by Ayman El-Tarbishi. He is the deputy chair for the Department of Management at the George Washington School of Business. He is here with us today. Vanessa Perry, who's professor of marketing and strategic management and public policy. She's been a spearhead also in helping to kind of bring this program to the district, and the point person that we've worked with initially in bringing together this partnership. And so she will also be sharing or be an instructor for the second cohort. And then Shem Garad, and I'm gonna Girardas. Sorry, Shem. I saw your name and then I got tongue-tied. He is the adjunct professor of management also at GW, and he was actually participated in the first cohort, and he will also share a few words as well. And so I'm going to turn it over to Ayman before we share a little bit about how to apply.
Thank you very much, Yvette. Congratulations, excellent start. I'm delighted to be here as Yvette mentioned, and we are part of the GW community at the GW School of Business here. And we're really excited about this program here because as Yvette mentioned here, it's if you're joining us today here, you're probably thinking, I'm running my business and I'm doing a good job running my business, but I want to take it to the next level. I want to elevate it to the next level. What do I need to know? And how can you provide it to me in a very succinct manner, something that with impact, something that I can use right away as I am running my business, and also here, and I have very limited time, and I have probably to deal with a lot of issues here. So I need to figure out how to create impact right away. And this is really what Elevate is about. It's about thinking strategically, thinking as a leader, thinking as a business owner, and wanting to grow the business, but we want to do it the right way. And you want to make sure that you are getting all the knowledge you need right at your fingertips and kind of saying, does this make sense to me or not? And that's what the whole program is about. The essence of this whole program is creating impact for you as you grow your business. So if Sham wants to join and add a little bit more, John, why don't you go ahead?
Sure. In addition, thank you, Ayman, and thank you, Yvette. I'm equally excited to be a part of this program because I think it comes at a time when you can, as Ayman was mentioning, take your business to the next level, elevate it. And I focus on two things in the program. One is on really understanding the core values of you as the entrepreneurial leader, but how you've then enmeshed it into the organization so that those values become an integral part of how the organization is run. So we spent some time really uncovering those values and integrating them into your business. But the second, we then translated into thinking about what is the value proposition you have for the outside world, and how do you think strategically about defining that value proposition and delivering it to your customers and clients in a way that is compelling, powerful, and takes your business to the next level of performance. So it's very exciting to have these discussions. You learn from each other, we learn from you as we go along the process, and it's really an interactive process of engaging with talented individuals, talented entrepreneurs. And that's why I think you will find it powerful and compelling. Thank you. Back to you, Yvette and Ayman.
Thank you.
Great. So,
Okay, so this is my slide here. Let me talk a little bit about this, and then maybe we can open up for questions as well. So here you are, probably in the midst of work, and you're saying, I came here, I need to know exactly what this program is about, because if I'm going to invest time in scheduling it on my Saturdays and carving out time and space and resources to do it, what am I going to get out of this? And why should I do this based on my availability here? And I said to Yvette and Sham and everybody else, saying, no, business owners, right, need things fast, need things efficiently, and they need them quick to see if this makes sense to them or not. And if you're listening to me and if you heard what you said here, you're probably making a decision saying, I'm interested, or I don't have time, or it's not what I want. But let me give you the 5 reasons why we think you should apply if this is something of value to you. First of all is we've curated what I believe the leading experts and in the program inside and out, the business school, to come and deliver to you very succinct knowledge. So instead of you trying to run around trying to figure out who's right and what information is important and what is not important, we'll tell you straight out saying, here's what you need to know. Here's the information you need to be aware of. Here's some decisions that you need to make. And here's some difficult things you need to think about and make some decisions. So that's coming from us to you because that's something that we do and we are experts on. As you are experts in your domain, we are experts in this domain. So we'll deliver to you what I say is knowledge with impact. That's number one. That's the reason number one. Reason number 2, and as I am very straightforward and direct here, is you are probably thinking during your day is you have many roles to play, many hats to do. You are a leader of your organization, but you also are managing the organization, and you're also thinking as an entrepreneur. How do I grow this business? Where is my next opportunity coming in? You know, what domain should I go to or field that I should go into to try to see if I can generate some more business? That's what you probably are doing throughout the day. 3 things, you know, leading, dealing with fires, putting fires out, but also looking at your next client, your next customer, your next area that you should invest in, or where the opportunity is. And that takes a balancing act. And in the program, we'll cover all 3 and kind of tell you what you should be focusing on to maximize your time. Once you do this, then you have some time to be a mom, a dad, a spouse, a partner, and you can say, I have other hats to fill. But in our domain, this is the 3 areas that we're going to be focusing on. Reason number 3 is this is what we probably have very little time on, is kind of seeing what's coming next. And as you're growing your business, you have things that are pressing, things that people needed yesterday, and you're still working on it today. And maybe you have very limited time to see what's next, what's in the horizon. And if you can steal some time, and Yvette will talk about the schedule, we're saying, think of this is coming. This is kind of coming on the horizon here. At least you have that half an hour or 40 minutes where you can breathe and say, thank you, I just needed some time to think about this. And this is something that I'm going to keep fiddling at or doodling at till I see how this can tie to my company, onto my organization. And reason number 4, I like the word dashboard, because I feel like when you're running an organization or like driving a car or anything you're doing, you're in a car and you see all these, all these signs, how fast are you going, what yellow button, what red button, how much oil is in the tank, and how much are you hitting the pedestal, right? So this program allows you to develop your dashboard more successfully. Maybe you need to refine it a little bit. Maybe you need to reorganize it a little bit. Maybe you need to look at things more differently here and seeing the balancing act between all 3. And that's kind of reason number 4. Finally, the 5th reason is, and I think this is more critically important because I keep seeing it in the news over and over again, is finding the right talent and, promoting the right talent, keeping the right talent. And you can't just keep throwing money at them thinking that they're going to be happy. It's more than money now. It's a reason, it's a motive, it's a belonging of sorts. And that's something that we will spend some time on, saying, how do you manage and enhance your leadership team? Because the success of your organization is not just you, but it's the people around you. So in all, if you add all 5 together, you're saying that's a lot. Exactly, it is a lot. And in the program, what we're hoping to do is kind of give you the space and time to think about all of them and then walk away. And I always say this, and if you're joining the program, I'll keep repeating and saying, start with the end in mind. What do you want to get out of this program? And for here, you these 5 reasons, and you can say to yourself, I really like number 3, or I really want to figure out my leadership team, or I really want to focus a little bit on my leadership or my entrepreneurial part. And that's kind of where we are with this program. So saying this, there is some time investment on your end and some commitments, and I would like to give it to Yvette to kind of explain to you the process. And I want to just say to you, we'll work with you. There's ways of doing it here, and as you're busy here, we can tell you exactly what to focus on here. But if you showed up here today, I'm happy because there's a commitment of sorts. So Yvette, you want to continue?
Sure. So how do you apply? The application process is fairly simple because we recognize that businesses don't have a lot of free time. We wanted to make the application process as simple as possible. And so if you go to our CNHED's website, and I will put in the chat where you can go, excuse me, oops. I don't know what happened, bear with me. So, okay, there's a technical glitch here. So you can see the slide. So if you go to our website, you will be able to preview the application, and you can see the questions that we're asking. Many of them are closed-ended questions where all you're doing is kind of checking and answering the question. But there's one particular area where we ask a set of questions, 4 questions, for which we'd like for you to review first. And then we're asking you to record a video responding to the questions that we're posing. And essentially the question is asking you about why you're applying to the Elevate program, what do you think you can get out of the program, and what is talking about your business's pain point. So we would be asking you to kind of share your reflections in response to those questions, and upload the link to your video. You can use the YouTube link. We're encouraging folks to use YouTube because it makes it easier for us to kind of download your video. You'll also be required to provide a picture, a promotional quality picture or professional headshot, and then basically once you completed the survey via SurveyMonkey, you send the survey, and then we will follow up with you immediately to schedule an interview with myself and the faculty, both Ayman and Shem, and another team member. We will schedule something a time for you to interview with us, and a decision will be made fairly quickly. The program is starting September the 25th. Again, the classes or the sessions are going to take place on Saturdays, and the first session again is the 25th, and it's about 3 hours from 10 to 1. And there will also be an event, and everything will be virtual except for one in-person session, which will be an all-day session taking place in October. And those who are entered into the program will learn more information about what we have planned in October. And you'll also have an opportunity, hopefully, to meet the first cohort members that participated in the program earlier this year. So we encourage folks to go to our website. If you have any questions, you can feel free to email me. If you have any issues or technical issues, you can also email me and I can try to assist you. And I am going to share in the chat. And then if anyone has any questions, feel free to kind of raise your hand if you have specific questions that you want to ask any of us.